Welcome to the 6:15 with me, Kejang Henry at Timbe. We flag off with our sub-stories. Traders at the Garwa Central Market are counting heavy losses after devastating fire broke out this Tuesday, reducing several warehouses into ashes. The affected shops were filled with goods stockpiled ahead of end-of-year festivities. And in Mutang, it was a sporadic riot that punctuated the air as residents flooded the streets this morning to protest 9 months of power outage. It's not been done to weed out the cankerworm. Top stories. Join us on our respective platforms for consultation on Canal International. We begin from the northern part of the country, precisely in the town of Garwa, where traders at the central market are already counting their losses, heavy losses after a devastating fire broke out this Tuesday, reducing several storage shops to ashes. The affected shops located behind the Biak building were filled with goods such as soup, rice and tea stockpiled ahead of end-of-year ceremony. And despite prompt intervention and arrival of firefighters, the flames spread rapidly. However, with the help of law enforcement and community members, the fire was eventually brought under control. The governor of the North Region, Shang Abati Edi, visited the site alongside his team to assess the damage and, of course, to reassure victims. Shang Abati actually thanked the population for the solidarity showed in trying to send out the fire. And, of course, the origin of the flames is not yet known, but investigations have been opened to determine the cause of the blistering flames. We will be bringing you more details in our subsequent newscast. And in Mutang, that is in the southwest region, sporadic riot actually punctuated the air this morning as the residents flooded the street to protest 9 months of power shortage or outage. The mass protest actually drew the attention of the administration that actually promised a very swift intervention. Titles with Morindy.
Residents of Mutang, Tico and surrounding areas took to the streets on December 9, 2025, blocking the main roads linking Mutang to neighboring towns in protest of a 9-month-long power outage that has left their communities in darkness. The prolonged blackout has severely affected schools, hospitals, and police stations. Students preparing for crucial exams are forced to study without electricity, while essential services continue to struggle. The protest caused a major traffic standstill, forcing passengers to abandon vehicles and walk.
They tried to solve about 1 or 2 quarters, but here there's no voltage.
It marks the latest outcry after months of unanswered appeal from the population.
We coming to connect officer with one light. They told us that we will have light. There's single light.
In response, the divisional officer for Thiko, Nukuri, Samuel Epak, visited the protest site. He acknowledged the gravity of the situation and cited a shortage of over 17 transformers as the primary cause of the delay. He assured the crowd that efforts are underway with NAO and higher authorities to urgently resolve the issue.
I don't promise to give 17 transformers, 17 transformers. They will take office. Me that being my technical director. So when the person that about the whole one, so when they put that ready today, the problem for bring me 17 new transformers. For some people go here, we will get an antidote. Before the end of the year, when the man talk, I think I talk, say that.
Sold in the coming days.
Very much, Morindi. We hope power will be restored in the coming days. And in Douala, the symbols warning strict penalties for illegal dumping of waste. It stands as a stark contrast to the daily realities faced by the residents of the country. And across the city, the absence of trash can is actually compromising the situation. With no practical way to manage domestic waste, the citizens are forced to dump them on the streets. Sherifa Saleh went finding out for the 6:15.
Across Douala, signboards warn sternly that anyone caught disposing of waste illegally risked fines of 25,000 CFA francs, and in some areas, as much as 40,000. Street corners, gutters, and open spaces. Residents argue the problem is the presence of fewer trash cans.
When the company in charge of collecting waste does not pass around, we are obliged to dispose them on the floor.
Students, who make up a large part of the affected population, say they feel trapped between rules they cannot follow and conditions they cannot change.
I dispose the waste on the floor because we lack trash cans and we have no choice than to dispose them on the floor.
While some points of negligence among inhabitants, stressing that existing trash cans should be better maintained. In several neighborhoods, bins are either absent, damaged, or filled beyond capacity for days at a time.
While waiting for the city council to add trash cans, let's make good use of the ones available.
Au départ, d'un problème d'éducation.
Firstly, there is a problem of education. Even in our homes, children throw dirt everywhere. They don't know how to seriously dispose waste. We just dump them anyhow.
Et on grandit avec ce comportement.
Amid growing frustration, inhabitants are calling on local authorities to take decisive action by multiplying the number of trash cans and ensuring that waste collection services operate consistently.
The government has to look into this problem and find adequate solutions rapidly. We hope that the city council multiply the number of trash cans in the city because it will reduce the rate of garbage found at every corner of the city.
For many, addressing the waste crisis is critical, not just for public health, but also for restoring the image of Cameroon's economic hub.
Thanks very much, Sherifa Saleh. And today, December 9, is observed as the International Anti-Corruption Day, a day that is out to amplify the ills of corruption and to fight against all the negative isms attached to it. And so Hyacinthia went down to the city of Yaoundé to sample the opinions of some Cameroonians on corruption, and our report.
On the streets of Yaoundé, Cameroonians narrate their bitter experiences on the cankerworm of corruption. They are victims in different ways, different places, and have suffered different consequences.
Les Camerounais font face à cela, à ce phénomène, quelles que soient des différentes manières.
Plusieurs fois. Donc, plusieurs fois en justice, alors c'est la catastrophe.
Je peux dire que la corruption va croissante. Vous pouvez l'inscrire dans un lycée, un établissement public maintenant, vous devez payer ce qu'on appelle la place.
Plusieurs fois, j'ai même un dossier dans une mairie, l'arrondissement d'ici à Yaoundé, où on a confisqué mon permis de mettre en donner les agents à la commune municipale. C'est ce que je ne donne pas. Parce que je ne pouvais, même si j'en avais, je ne pouvais pas donner parce qu'on est contre la corruption. Ce n'est pas normal, ça affaiblit même tout un peuple.
Given the prevailing states of the vices of bribery and corruption, many lament that it has unfortunately become a way of life.
On s'habitue avec ça et on fait avec. Notre pays ne va jamais changer. J'ai déjà mis ça dans ma tête et je fais avec.
Et c'est déjà normalisé, c'est banalisé dans notre pays, ce qui est dommage.
Dans la corruption, on vit avec.
And according to the National Anti-Corruption Committee, Cameroon continues to lose billions to corruption yearly, with over 4 billion lost in 2024 in various sectors of the economy.
Thanks, Haisin. And Yaoundé city dwellers are decrying the high rate of corruption in the country and are calling on the powers that be and for all and sundry to make sure they synergize to stamp out corruption. And as a way forward, many of them are suggesting childhood training and education reports.
Corruption in Cameroon, according to some Yaoundé city dwellers, is like a cankerworm that must be eradicated at all costs.
Tant qu'on n'a pas éduqué davantage les gens à comprendre quelque chose d'autrui appartient à autrui, tant qu'on n'est pas assez patriote, parce que ne pas respecter la loi, c'est une forme d'antipatriotisme. Donc je suppose que c'est d'abord une question de mentalité. Il faut assainir les mœurs. Il faut davantage éduquer et sensibiliser.
Some of them suggest that all those guilty of the act must face the law accordingly. Others shared opinions emphasize that the key to defeating corruption lies in the changing of mindsets from early age. The impact of education, both at school and within the family, is highlighted.
Parce que si vous ne partez pas à la base, ça va faire que vous coupez simplement au sommet, la corruption à la base va toujours germer.
Il faut que la justice fasse son travail. Il faut que la justice se saisisse des dossiers. Si la justice est juste, la corruption va finir.
A firmer hand within the judicial system could put an end to what many consider a true cancer, while others believe that only divine intervention can save Cameroon from corruption.
Il faut que les gens donnent leur vie au Seigneur. Vous comprenez, non? Il faut que les gens donnent leur vie au Seigneur. Parce que tant que nous sommes encore accrochés aux choses de la terre, c'est un peu difficile. Ouais, alors que quand on sommes accrochés dans la parole de Dieu, je pense que on va éviter la corruption.
In the face of corruption, even if opinions.
And 3 teenagers, each between 14 and 17, have been arrested in Munduru for a series of nighttime shop break-ins. The minors actually refuse or use deceptive methods and techniques to carry out their theft, which they later confessed to the authorities after their arrest. Morinti.
Aged between 14 and 17, 3 teenagers have been arrested for repeatedly breaking into shops at night in the town of Minzuru. Their burglaries were carried out using a deceptive methods, which the later explains in detail to the Minzuru Gendarmerie Brigade. We belong to 2 village groups. One operates from the forest. We use plants and perform certain rituals that put everyone into deep sleep. Then we mark the area around the shop, and that's when we strike. One of the victims revealed that this was the 12th time their shop had been targeted by thieves. This has happened on the 6 commanders. Now the 7th one is here, and he has finally put an end to this story. I've been living in this nightmare for nearly 12 years. This operation was a result of a crackdown ordered by the commander of the East Region Gendarmerie Legion and executed by the Onyong Gendarmerie Company. We haven't been sleeping. We will track down all criminals who are keeping the population awake. As the festive season approaches, the security forces have intensified efforts to protect people and property, reassuring the public that law enforcement is actively working to ensure their safety.
Thanks very much, Morinti. And the board chair of elections, Cameroon, Eno Abrams Egbe, has urged his collaborators to multiply efforts ahead of the 2026 municipal and legislative elections and made the call during the board's 4th ordinary session that sat in Yaoundé. Haisin chairs for it.
It is the 4th ordinary session of the Electoral Board of Elections Cameroon for the year 2025, which serves as a strategic forum for evaluation of the annual activities and building prospects for the new year.
The main objective of this meeting shall be to review our progress so far and reshape our strategic and operational roadmap for the upcoming financial year, which is another crucial electoral year for our country.
With the next elections fast approaching, Eno Abrams Egbe urges collaborators to get to work and prepare major axes of the process to ensure success and credibility.
As we conclude the first chapter of the 2025-2027 electoral cycle, our responsibility is to focus on effectively preparing for the next legislative and municipal elections, which are scheduled for the next year. As always, this requires a greater sense of anticipation, strategic thinking, and early coordination from all of us.
Elecam also prepares to launch the kickoff of the voters' registration for 2026 from January 1st, as stipulated by the Electoral Code.
Hycin and in culture, far from their conflict-stricken home, members of the Boom community of the Donga Mantung division in the Northwest region converged on Limbe to reconnect with their roots. The cultural gathering actually blended commitment or celebrations, reflections, and a renewed commitment to preserve the cultural heritage of the people of Boom. Sherifa Saleh.
Clad in the colorful fabrics and symbolic regalia of the Grassfield people, natives of Donga Mantung division gathered in Limbe, Southwest region, to uphold traditions that conflict has kept them from celebrating at home.
We decided to organize national sports and culture tournament. So it brings just sporting competition, dances, music, fashion, artisanal things that people can do with their hands. And so that's going on together. So we're promoting their culture.
The 5-day assembly, organized by the Wimboom Cultural Development Association Wikoda, brought together Wimboom sons and daughters from across Cameroon. With the Anglophone crisis continuing to affect communities in the Northwest, Limbe provided as a safer environment for the annual cultural event.
The sport and culture will be something to unite the Wimboom people to live in culture in diversity and unite themselves to be together peacefully in this country.
This year's National Assembly placed significant focus on sports, dance and music as ways to reconnect the community, especially its youth, to their roots.
Some of us who are not in the village, it has been a very good experience. I've never been here to play this kind of Wikuda national tournament.
Performances of traditional rhythms and cultural exhibitions highlighted the endurance of Boom identity despite displacement.
Our duty is to uphold our culture and push it forward to the rest of the world to know where we come from, who we are.
A major highlight of the gathering was the installation of a new bureau tasked with leading the association's activities, both within and beyond the homeland, for the next 4 years.
We will review how the Wimboom community will be for the next 4 years.
For many participants, the celebration was a reaffirmation that even far from home, culture remains a powerful force of unity and resilience.
And that report draws the curtain for this edition of the 6:15 with me, Kejang Henry at Timbe. Thank you for being there with me, with us. Monique now is just right ahead with the brief, the actuality.